Jeg legger på litt på den her.
Nei.
Det...
Og det er det noen spillere må gjøre da, Thomas.
Jeg vet det.
Aye, just going to throw an intern down here.
Eh? You're okay. I was a wee bit wider with that.
Oh yeah.
Good game. Good game. Good game. Good game.
Well, good morning everybody and welcome to the Mercure City of Perth Masters again. Welcome back. It's Sunday morning. It's mild and damp outside, which has put real pressure on the ice team to create fantastic ice this morning. So welcome to Rachel next door to me. Good morning, Rachel.
Morning, Rob. How are you this morning?
Yeah, great. Looking forward to a big day of curling. A lot of the top teams have come through, so we're going to see some cracking games, and we've got a real personality game here today on Sheet D. We've got MacDonald, team from Inverness, and Thomas Ulsrud from Norway. So these guys have played against each other a lot over the years, so we'll see some fun on the ice, I'm sure. The similarities stop there, though. The games yesterday, MacDonald's team ended up playing 4 games of curling through the qualification process, spread over about 15 hours, and because Thomas Ulsrud qualified through the A road, they only played 1 game yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see if that helps the team or hinders the team.
Yeah, well, it would definitely be interesting. I think he was saying they'd had 4 competitive games before this, so they've doubled that in a day.
We might see some stiff bodies out there.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing is the change in the format to Team Ulsrud. We see Torger Nergard going down to the head. He's been taking the head this week with carrying an injury preventing him from sweeping too much. So the rare sight of Thomas Ulsrud down to a t-shirt already, getting ready to sweep.
Okay.
He might be a bit stiff in the shoulders as well.
Yeah.
You should have seen the boys last night. They were dying.
So the teams had a 4-minute practice, so they're straight into it this morning. We're not doing the draw shot challenge. Tom Ulsrud, by the benefit of coming through the A road as top seeds, they've won the hammer that way. And interestingly enough, MacDonald has chosen the stones, which are the red stones this morning, which are the stones that he didn't use against Tom Brewster that we saw yesterday afternoon.
Sometimes good just to mix up.
I think so too. I think I can't remember. Thomas played this sheet earlier on in the week, but I can't remember which colour he had, and I think he had red. So I think they're both playing on unknown stones to them, which is creates more parity, which is good. We're just waiting for the time clocks to be reset, and we'll get the get-go once Christine Shaw, the umpire there, gives them the nod. The other thing to consider on the games today, there's obviously just 3 draws today as opposed to 6 yesterday. The ice will get a clean cut, fresh pebble each draw, whereas yesterday there was 2 games in a row before it got a fresh, proper deep cut. And you just saw that 10th slower in the second game of the cut, so we'll see fresh ice each time. We'll see more curl, more glide.
Those guys are good sweepers.
So we'll see how much attacking curling there is.
It's funny, I was saying
The ice will certainly curl from the off, so
look at
I have a funny feeling that
the whole sort of body language.
you and MacDonald's team will certainly try and go for it from the start. And as we know, Ulsrud plays pretty attacking curling, so I think we're going to see lots of stones.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. I think it'll be a nice aggressive one.
When I spoke to him earlier on in the year, and I think Greg was struggling a little bit. But
I think they're just waiting for the ice to crisp up.
What do you reckon then? 10.
Yeah, just the front end discussing the speed of the ice there for you and Byers. He struggled a little bit in last night's game, just getting the weight, so he'll be keen to be right on it this morning, calling it just 6 inches short of the house on the centre line. We talked about it earlier on in the week, Rachel, the fact that there's a big change this year with everybody wearing the same fabric on their brushes, and no changing of the brushes within the game. And I think you and MacDonald's team last year felt that the teams that were using the directional sweeping had a big advantage, and I think they feel that it's levelled the whole field up a bit now that we're all using the same fabric.
I think, yeah, definitely. You know, the fact that we went away as a sport and did a lot of research into it and came away with the one fabric to make sure we did level the field was a great thing. And, you know, a lot of people talk about the curling that we saw last year wasn't just quite what we wanted for our sport, and just too much influence from the sweep-in. So it's good to be back to this.
Yeah, and the players have really dictated how well that's working. There is quite a sophisticated checks and measures scrutiny behind the whole thing, with the umpires checking the fabrics and the fact that the brushes are getting swapped. The brushes aren't getting swapped between the teams within a game, but the players are policing it themselves. There's never been an infringement of the rule throughout any of the tournaments this year, so fair play to the players. They're just embracing the new rules. Great start from Havard Pettersson there, right on the money from the first end.
Yeah.
And that's a good shot too.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Yeah, that's great. That'll settle you down. He's straight on the money too. Yeah, Thomas Ulsrud's had a great season. We spoke with Torger Nergard at the one of the games earlier on, and as he was on the ice, and he was discussing how they're selecting less tournaments to play in their build-up to the Worlds and ultimately to the Olympics, and their performance hasn't gone down at all. Their success rate is as good as anybody's on the Champions Curling Tour. Another lovely shot, just popping the red into the open and keeping the two yellows guarded behind the centre guard has meant that Ewan's going to have to change this because he's not sitting very well.
Yeah, that was a good start from the Norwegians.
Yeah, it's interesting. Ewan Byers hasn't really played a bad shot, and yet Ewan's been forced to go defensive straight away. Yeah, Norwegian team haven't looked in any trouble all weekend, and they're playing as near to 100% as we're going to see.
Så kommer den! Spiller vanlig!
Yes, the centre guard's almost become a corner guard, he's saying, so a little hit and check in wouldn't be bad, he said, but plan B would be hit and roll into the cluster of his own and just check it out and spread them around a wee bit. My Norwegian's improved.
I was just going to say.
just overcurled on them.
Yeah.
I think he thought it was good because they upped the brushes halfway and it seemed to just take off. So that's a let off for Ewan MacDonald's team. If that had gone in behind the corner guard, they were going to be chasing doubles for the whole end.
Yeah, they've got a good opportunity to get out of this.
Yeah, just Duncan asking how much distance there was between the stones.
Yep.
Just sounded a touch narrow. They might just jam this and it might go behind the corner.
No.
Okay, it's not exactly what he wanted, but it's not terrible either. He's left a red up top, so should be easy enough to run the yellow later on in the end. But it does give Christopher Sva the chance to go around this long red corner guard. Team Ulsrud wearing a different set of pyjamas this morning.
Quite bright for a Sunday morning.
Tight linje! Tight linje!
So they're hard on this for line.
Yeah, it's a real tester for him, throwing a 2-8 draw first up.
Tight linje!
It's tight to the guard.
Tight linje, ok linje.
Aldri over! Aldri av!
Vi må beite, gutter, vi må beite.
They've dragged it in.
Yep.
Good sweeping.
Well swept by the guys there.
Yeah, it turned out it wasn't tight to the guard at all. They kept that a lot straighter than expected. And it's right behind the guard now, so it shows that past the guard by 6 inches there, and it's fully in behind.
Not there.
I've got half an inch.
Yeah, so David Edwards saying you can see half an inch, but it will curl enough, so if he was to play a backline to hack weight, it would come onto half stone. He'd be able to roll behind the 2 in the centre.
Like that.
Yep.
Yeah, just playing that backline weight.
You have curl in here.
Yeah, there's enough room, you'd think, past that guard to get what they need out of
That's
it.
the beauty of this swingy ice that we've got this week at Perth. All credit to the ice makers. They've had a long day yesterday, 6 draws with cuts in between, plus a bit of pressure with some humidity and higher temperatures outside. So
Yep.
on it early.
Just over swinging a bit there and clipping the guard.
That's right. Okay. Good try.
Yeah, they were keen to keep that in play because I suspect at some point they're going to have to run the other red onto the yellow at some point, and they might lose the red. So it's handy having that extra counter in there. I think he might have just been a tad light of weight there. I think he was talking back line. It was probably just back line and no more.
Yeah, just.
He really wanted to be just a shady heavier than that, I think, and that's why it caught the draw. So Norway line 2, and just wondering how they can keep them apart at the moment. Yeah, this is great dynamics where we've got the usual skip. Thomas Ulsrud would normally be making all the calls, and Torger Nørgaard set the whole end up just now, and Torger comes to throw his stone, and the skip wants to call a different shot, so it's...
Hæ? Han må dra hit da, helt hit. Blir dobbelt med rull.
It just shows the difference getting that extra counter in there. You think it's counting 4th shot, but Thomas Ulsrud doesn't like it. There's danger with a shot too, though. I mean, he could, if he goes for the double, he could easily jam one of the reds into the wide yellow on the right-hand side of the screen that you're looking at. So it's not a straightforward call, this.
Du må rulle litt inn da!
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting dynamic when they switch them around in the head, but it's credit to the team that they're able to do that and still be so successful.
Well, that's right. It just shows how much quality they've got right up and down the rink, and often when there's a decision to be made, they're not scared to ask Christopher Sva and Havard Pettersson what they think.
Yeah. Nearly they were just hoping to bump that out into the open a little.
Yeah. It's actually worked out not too bad for Team MacDonald either.
Make that.
I think there is a shot there. I think he could catch it just high of centre, maybe just bounce the yellow an inch that's on the top of the house, and maybe squirt the played red stone across onto top of the. I don't think all yellows go, but I think the red should end up in a good position if David Edwards can get this just high of centre.
Yep. Hey! Hey!
Perfect.
Go. Aye, good try. Okay.
I think that was as good as you could have done. I think you'd have had to be huge weight to get them all out from there.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad result for them.
I mean, I think Norway have still got a hit to lie too, but it's way better position than MacDonald could have been hoping for 2 shots ago.
Whoa! Ren! Whoa! Whoa! Ikke drag! Whoa!
In-turn hit for Nergard looks a bit on the high side, but it should stick. He's played control weight.
Just held up a bit more than they were expecting.
Yeah.
Seen that a bit over the weekend, haven't we? Just the difference in weight can just have a completely different reaction. Much straighter at weight.
Yeah. Now you get a big roll as well, eh? Control.
Yeah, there's two options here. He could play the double in the yellows. The downside of that being is probably hard to control the shooter. It's important that he keeps this red stone in play, and certainly would like to be the shot. Ironically, the yellow line second shot could be a bit of cover for him here, so he's got a lot of cover to roll to the entire length of the house there. He's got 3 potential guards.
Behind the yellow or all the way behind the red, you know. So
Yeah, just as you said, a couple of options there, a couple of stones up top. Need to watch this in-turn though, because I think Norgard's started it high and it curled at the end. They seem to like it. Yeah, that's caught them out too.
Said. Just swinging at the end there.
Isn't it funny that he almost predicted it and then couldn't believe it was going to happen? That was a good chance.
It was, yeah. Like you say, just to get
It's
one
almost
line shot behind a
hog line in. They were happy with that at the hog, and then it just took off. So, and he wasn't light. The one thing is that the absolute nose hit might not go in the house, so he needs to get a roll one way or the other. I think he's favouring the roll to the corner guard at the moment, just to keep the two yellows apart. If you roll slightly towards the centre line, it might leave Ewan MacDonald an easier double. So I think he's just looking to see if the nose hit gets it. Yeah, he's just asking, does the nose hit go in?
Your Norwegian is really quite good. Been practicing over the last year.
Consummate pro. Playing the out turn. Yeah, that seems to be drawing too.
That swung quite a lot there, a lot more than you would have expected.
He might have started a wee bit narrow. They would certainly jumped on it straight away, but it's a great get out of jail card for Ewan MacDonald.
Yeah, a few stones ago it looked like the Norwegians were going to have a fairly
straightforward two, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, the two first stones from Havard Pettersson really set that end up. He played two crackers, and it looked like a nailed-on two from from the start, but they've worked hard, Team MacDonald, to get out of this. And okay, it was a half stone, but they've always kept themselves in the end just by they defended early. It's knowing when to bail out. Yeah, nice stone, and we'll probably see Thomas Ulsrud try and blank the end and set them up again for a 2. Good end of attacking curling, quite cat and mouse. There were both teams going at it, and then just whoever played the best shots won the end there, really.
That's it.
Okay, so honours even, really. I think Ewan's team will be happy to get away with a blank, and Team Ulsrud will dust themselves down, knowing they've got control, they've got the hammer, and they're on to the even ends now. So
that's it, just getting a bit used to the ice there. Didn't react quite as they were expecting, which resulted in a couple of half shots.
Yeah, both of them got caught out on the swing on that in turn on the left-hand side of the sheet. Even though they'd seen it, they didn't believe it was going to do it twice. And although these stones are identical, they're all made from the same chunk of granite, they do react different ways, just the slightest hair here and there. And when you're going down a precision surface like ice, then the slightest difference makes quite a big difference at the end of the day. And it just takes time for the players to eke out these differences and see how they'll react, and then they can react to it. So I think we might see Ewan Byers a little bit tighter to the house this time. He was fully just halfway, no more, allowing Pettersson to come round those guards. I think he'll be close at the rings this time. That looks in the rings.
Yeah, I think they've called this top 4 this end.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. I like that because I think Nergard will ignore it anyway, and I think he'll go for a corner guard, and it just means that it's easier for MacDonald to defend the end. Make them do something.
Yeah, and that's a great first stone.
Yeah, Team Ulsrud immediately go guard. I think they'll go for the 2 this time. They're not interested in a blank really this end. They want the score on the even ends, I think.
Yeah, they'll certainly start off the end playing for their 2. They know, again, like the previous end, and when Ewan bailed out, they know when to bail out, so they're happy to give it a go.
Yeah, just over the Gruyere sign. One of our fine sponsors this year. They brought the Mercure Perth Masters again to us with the Champions Tour of Curling with the Gruyere, Switzerland. Obviously our title sponsor Mercure Perth Hotel has been full all weekend with the players. Great atmosphere over there. And Perth and Kinross Council with Live Active Leisure and Perth Honda, great supporting sponsors, makes the whole event possible.
So we're just calling for the close guard here. Yeah, it's coming in.
Yeah, I think plan A would be to be just a foot short. It's unfortunate he's just half a stone in, and it allows Team Ulsrud just to do a wee hit and check behind that corner. I think they're talking whether they just ignore it, move the back one, or just come round themselves. Yeah, it's a bit attacking at this stage of the game. They can do 2 shots in one here. They can go around the corner guard or just a hit and check in behind. Needs to curl a wee bit. Pretty good, I think. Yeah, that's a great shot.
Yeah, nice stone. Just clinging on at the edge there.
Yeah, it's probably not behind the guard, but it just needed to curl a wee bit. It was probably a good shot played. They maybe just misswept it a wee bit, anticipating the in-turn to curl the same as it had been down the other way. Maybe just stayed a bit straighter on them, giving Ewan the chance to clear up, stay with 2 in the house, and get the emphasis away from the corner guard and try and get this back into the centre of the house. Yeah, great shot. Ewan's really trying to get the play into the centre, get it away from that corner guard. Of course, Team Ulsrud are trying to do the opposite, and they're trying to get the play towards the corner guard and maximise their opportunity of last stone. Torger sees the two of them quite close together. It's a great opportunity to get rid of both of them at the same time. And if this curls a wee bit, he can come over the top and either sit in front of the red or actually go behind the corner. Yeah, plan A. Move the two reds.
Just looking for the nose hit here.
Yeah, 100% curling so far. You're right. You know, just try and go nose hit. He probably doesn't want to go anywhere near the corner guard because Team Norway will come right on top of it if he does that. Making sure they sweep it early. He's on the high side. He probably wants to let that draw a bit. Yeah, he's coming a lot at the end. Yeah, good shot. Nice controlled weight.
Torger just calling the draw around this corner now.
Good call. Yeah, they're nailing the colours to the mast. Really, that's showing how much they're trying to go for this 2 this time. If they were easy Ozy, whether it was a blank or a 2, I think they would have gone for the hit and roll, but they're definitely out for the 2. Really solid team, Team Ulsrud. Front end, right through, they can all play the shots.
That's it. Yeah, like you said, tactically they'll have a group discussion as well. They're all pretty on the ball with it all.
Bit hot this time.
Yeah.
Commentator's curse. That's a surprise, really. We've got a few stones down that track. It maybe just caught the bit that the players had been sliding down and might have been a bit quicker than where they've been throwing outside the line to inside. That time they were down the centre line going out. Probably meant it was just a hair quicker. I'm being kind to him.
You are being kind. Certainly that path up the middle can get pretty quick, though. I think the ice has been quite keen over the weekend.
Yeah, and the stones are quite quick in the heads too. The heads are especially quick. They make a great job of making it consistent throughout, and it means that they glide more, especially after it's on a fresh cut.
Good, David.
Nice guard there. It's just overswung just ever so slightly for them. But on the right side.
Yeah, he's on the pro side, isn't he? He made sure that they were going to have to move it regardless. No hesitation from Norway. They don't like that setup at all. They're going to try and move both reds here. Full weight from Torger and Ergard. Great shot.
Good stone.
Yeah, they make the game very simple, don't they?
They do indeed. Make it look simple too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ewan, it's too early and probably too risky. There's no gain in him trying to use this guard. It's too wide. All the cards are stacked in favour of Team Ulsrud at the moment, so he's just going to get rid of this. Probably try and maintain the blank. I mean, if he was to attack, he would probably try and roll towards the centre, but I don't think that'll be in his mind at the moment.
No.
Get rid of it and rack them up again for the third end.
That's it. It's just about being patient, isn't it? Waiting for your opportunity and not taking a risk when you don't need to.
So this gives the players to a bit of a chance. I think both teams know what's going to happen, but it gives them a chance to size up different parts of the track, different parts of the sheet, whether it will curl more from inside to out. They'll maybe try and do a couple of hits on the alternative handles that they haven't used. That's speeding on too. It's just down that same track that Christopher Sva through, and it just looks that little bit quicker than on other bits. I think it'll hang on this time though.
Just.
So it's left Ewan with in-turn hit again, but on a wider part of the ice. So, you know, every stone they'll be watching, it's all education for later on in the game. They might be coming down this end at the last, and he might be left with the same shot. So he'll be watching every twist and turn of the ice that he can.
Yeah, nice nose hit there.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we talked about how much Team Ulsrud had played less this year and played a chunk less tournaments than a lot of the other top teams, just to keep themselves fit and ready for the big ones. But Ewan MacDonald's team's even less. I mean, I think this is just their second outing of the year. Clearly, they had a good practice yesterday. They had 4 games yesterday. So, but to play the high-performance game they're playing against one of the best teams of all time, and still competing and matching them end for end, it's a great indictment to Ewan MacDonald's team.
That's right. They're a hugely experienced team, and it's just a case of whether they're match fit or not, isn't it? That's what it'll come down to in the end. That consistency and fitness, possibly, after a long day yesterday.
Yeah, the adrenaline will keep them going just now. Opportunity to play one of the best teams and probably take some scalps, though. You can see how competitive they are with it. They've got the look in the eye, as they say.
They do. That's just sliding on as well.
Yeah, I think it's just got a hair quicker than it was even at the first end, and certainly at the practice, because it's catching them all out. Ewan's first draw. He's had 3 hits so far, so first draw since the practice anyway, so he'll have thrown a few practice stones, but no harm done. It just allows Thomas Ulsrud to blank the end with no pressure. Maybe Ewan threw that deliberately through just to avoid giving Thomas a practice hit.
Quite possibly. That benefit of the doubt again.
So really all square, but Team Ulsrud in control. Not too many risks at that end. They played pretty much a formula strategy. The corner guard followed by the 2 up top, and I think both teams did enough to defend it, and Team Ulsrud probably didn't do enough to get the 2, so they bailed out quite early on, and I think we'll see the same strategy from both teams here. I think early stage of the game, they both have so much respect for each other that they're not going to take too many risks.
Absolutely right. They've been, like you say, they're respectful of each other and their abilities, and certainly where there's been chances where they could have taken a different tactic, they've gone with the best tactic based on the fact that they think they're all going to make their shots.
Yeah, I think Ewan maybe got a bit of a fright at the first, because he could easily have lost a 2 or a 3 going with the longer guard. So I think he's favouring top 4 again. Put the first one in the house and worry about guarding that one. Let Torger Nergard throw his corner guard and then defend from there in. They might still have an outside chance if they don't deliver one of their shots, but to go all attack, I think it maybe just gave them a bit of a fright. And
yeah, making sure you get a good one in the forefoot to start, knowing that they're going to throw their corner guard. It's quite a good call. That looks like that's picked up there.
Yeah,
can't decide where it's going.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I never really saw his throw, whether it was like a handle or whether it grabbed something, but they'll not be too despondent, but it's certainly 3 feet shorter of where they wanted it. But again, Team Ulsrud straight for the corner, ignoring that one. Even though they could have hit that one in the house, they're not interested. They're trying to set something up.
It looks like this is swinging a lot as well.
Yeah, he put a funny handle on it. He didn't like it when it was in his hand. Whether he thought that it grabbed something, he put a multiple handle on it. That's a lot more handle than he would normally put in his in-turn. And it's maybe just wide enough there, right? I think he wanted it so that he could cover more of the house than just the edge of the 12 foot. It's quite long as well.
Yeah.
Nice release from Ewan. Trying to come right up to his first one. It's actually makes it quite a difficult draw coming around that front red with the corner guard in play. Yeah, that's over curled. He's gone for. Yeah, he's past it. Yeah, it was actually a nice weight. It was just over curled, so it popped the red into the open rather than guarding it in the top of the 4 foot.
Bra fart! Ja!
tight from his hand, he said. So I think he's hoping to go hit and check behind the corner, but it looks like it's quite close to the nose. Oh, he's perfect.
Yeah, it was well swept by the guys.
Yeah, they held it up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Bra.
He really is a wonderful player, Havard Pettersson. I mean, very understated, very relaxed when he plays, but he misses nothing. He played superb ticks against Team Brewster in the Aero final at the last end, just when Brewster got back in the game, and that just killed the end off. And he's missed nothing today. He's played 100% and forced Ewan to taking that corner guard off already.
I think you make that to the nose, just coming here anyway.
Yeah.
I prefer that.
Yeah. I think at this stage of the end, it's probably a better call. He's pointing out that if he goes for the shot, Duncan thinks he can see half of it from the hack, but if he goes for the outturn round the side of it, the corner's still there for Team Ulsrud to go round, so they're playing the run back, and hopefully they'll try and get the red to roll in to be a centre guard at the same time. All very quiet out there, must be on the high side.
Yeah, just not really done anything with that other than cover the yellow a
and
bit
it's
more.
left a potential guard up there as well, so the late call there from Ewan was just to try and sweep it early and try and get the red out the way, but it's Torger's happy that yellow is relatively safe. He's going to take the initiative away from it. He'll use up a few stones going round the centre one now. Just split the house for his two. Christopher Svat asking for a little bit more ice, just reminding Torger that this intern here was swinging a lot from the hog line in. Just as it passes the hog, it really goes. It doesn't want to be heavy though. They like it more now. It's back T though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a huge swing up that side, isn't it?
Yeah, it's out the other side almost.
Passed by a chunk and come out the other end.
It's a thin double, but it is there, so I think Ewan's possibly, that's why he didn't sweep it behind the tee. He was trying to leave them so that the double was on. He probably could have swept the played yellow back a foot, but I think he prefers the angles here. If he can catch what he sees there, it's going to roll right on top of the centre yellow. Big shot though, has to make it. Big handle from Duncan Fernie, just trying to hold the stone up. Yeah,
just caught that there.
Yeah,
just enough to take it out of play.
Just overthrew the release, I think, and that just kept it straighter than the natural release might have done. I think the classic strategy would be to go round the corner guard, but Torger's saying that with that one being back tee, he doesn't like it too much. You come round, it leaves you in the same shot, so maybe coming top four might be a safer call. If he's going round the corner, it needs to be right round. Yeah,
I think this is furthest. Like you say, they just come in and they bring that play into the 4 foot, and then that shot round the corner guard's doing nothing for the rest of the end. So to make this more difficult.
I think the corner guard's so wide that if they go round the corner, get totally hidden, you might just totally ignore it, freeze the one on the button, and the end's over. Remember, Ewan's happy with a force here. If that one on the back of the button there, if Ewan freezes it, okay, Thomas is always going to have a draw to it to get his one, but Ewan will be delighted to get out of this with only losing a one at the moment. Better weight this time. That's going to curl inside, I'm sure.
Sliding right in.
Yeah, that's about exactly where he wanted it. Can still freeze the back one, but we're early enough in the end that when there's an opportunity of the double for David Edwards, they're going to go for it. He wants to catch at least one though. If he halves the red off, they're going right round that corner this time, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, don't be tight. Yeah, maybe just a shade narrow, but that is the hand that's been curling more from outside in on the in-turn, so maybe just not enough ice.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of ice that he gave him there.
Yeah, just feathered it too. I mean, it was very close.
Ah, jeez.
And like we predicted, they're straight round that corner guard this time. It's almost a double corner. Whether that's maybe helped you in a wee bit because there is an extra guard out there that you could run back, but they're going to go around this corner, leave you in the double on the centre ones. And Ewan can't risk chasing this. He's got to go for the double on the middle, so this is going to be a free draw. He's got to make it, of course.
Hard on this for weight.
He's really going.
Oh, and a good sweep by the boys just to bring that into the front of the house.
Oh, they
there.
worked that hard.
Yeah.
I think Thomas was shouting line. I think the boys were always knew they were getting it there, but they couldn't come off it. It's not bad where it is for Team Norway because there's no run back on it, so Ewan MacDonald, the best he can hope for is a nose hit. I don't think he can get them both and roll across behind the cover. So nose hit's good, it takes it away from the corner. Great shot.
Yeah. Be happy with that shot.
Yeah, it took a shade more ice that time.
Just calling the hit and roll behind the corner here.
Yeah, it's still set up well for Team Norway. Yeah, just clearing in Torger's mind what weight he's looking to give him for the ice. So a lot of communication the top teams. There's lots of different weights a strike can be, and certainly that's a lighter strike than we saw the double that Torger took coming down at the second end. So he's playing a controlled weight to just try and get a bit of action off this swingy hand and try and get in behind the corner. Hit it on the right side, but really just needed half stone there at that weight.
Just took a little bit extra ice there just to be sure.
Yeah.
And just ended up being a bit too much.
Quarter, I think half probably.
Aye, you're
But
good.
it's a quarter.
I think we've got to. The other option's that, but do that.
I think this is easier.
Yeah, Ewan's just having a look at this double here.
Yeah, two good options for them. They've got the double, or they've got the hit and roll behind. I think the double is the far better call, and as they said, they feel it's an easier shot. This is the shot Duncan had down here, and he caught it just a little bit thin, but I felt he maybe just positive release squared it.
Yours didn't go crazy here, eh?
So it stayed straighter before that. Yeah, he's just saying you maybe just squared it a hair back. So I think a nice release here, and quarter stone to hold the shooter in play. Still got to play it. Yeah, nice throw.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
Oh, must be close. Lovely
Yeah,
stone
good
by
shot.
Ewan.
Yeah, see, that shaped a little bit. They were definitely worried about over curling, and so it must have shaped a little bit. So just a different throw that Ewan had compared to Duncan, but it was good to keep the shooter in play. They said if it had half stoned it, it would probably hit and roll over the top and roll out, and Norway would have a free draw behind the corner. So it's good that they've stuck in play. Let's see if Thomas learned a lot from Torger Nergaard's last stone there. So I think he's given about the same ice. So it'll be interesting to see. This will be a down weight hit and roll with a bit of control. Yeah, I think that's heavier than they were maybe looking for the ice. They're saying no straight away. Not a huge amount the sweepers can do. Probably a nose hit at best at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's too much ice or too much weight. It's difficult to tell exactly what they were trying to get there, but certainly got the same result as Torger Nergaard's, and I felt if anything, Ulsrud was heavier than Nergaard's throw. So just maybe a breakdown in communications, or maybe just a heavier throw, more positive.
Just bad here, boys.
Ewan's just looking to get that roll there now, just to try and force this one.
Yeah, it's about the first opportunity that Team MacDonald have probably been in a position to force. If they can get a roll here, Ulsrud's going to have to draw for his one. Nose hit, looks like another blank, folks.
Yep.
They should be able to hold that onto the nose there, I think. Yeah. Ewan still had aspirations of the roll, but I think David Edwards knew that it was always onto the nose.
And kind to his sweepers there.
They're really hard when you're trying to get the roll, but you know you can't. You've got to stay in the house somewhere, so you tend to err on the professional side, which is obviously just nosing it. So, decent enough shot, gives Ulsrud the chance of the blank, but I think Ewan's guys will be happy enough there again with their performance on that end that even though the corner guard went up and they were looking in trouble a couple of times, they dug themselves out. Great double from Ewan MacDonald first that really turned the end around. Thomas Ulsrud will be looking at, they had two reasonable chances of getting hit and rolls behind the corner guards and didn't make them, so they'll take credit from that.
Yeah, they've had their opportunities here. They'll just be looking to tighten that up, and just struggling still a bit with the ice and the weights to get what they need.
Yeah.
Somewhere's cooler, even I can back it up.
Great atmosphere down the ice between the teams. They know each other socially very well, and actually played each other so often that have huge respect. Now, you see that 3 blanks in a row, you would say what a boring game of curling, but there's been some great ends played and high caliber stuff.
Yes, it's definitely been more aggressive than the scoreline shows at the moment. They've just, when it's not quite happened though, they've been quick to bail out.
Yeah, I think Team Ulsrud are really protecting their hammer. They're making sure they don't lose the opportunity of their two, making sure they don't give away an easy force. And at the same time, after the first end, where I think Ewan's team got a bit of a fright, where they almost gave away such a soft two, they've made sure that they're not going to give away the two. So it's classic chess at the moment. Really controllable, top performance. Nobody's playing a bad shot yet. It's just the strategy game that's winning the ends at the moment. So Ewan Byers, I think we're going to see him going top 4 again. First stone at the last end, just did a funny thing at the end and it curled just as it came over the hog line. So more positive release with that one. So he's making sure that he's got plenty of handle on it, and yeah, looks a lot smoother.
Right up here, guys. Come on. Right up to me. Come on. Go. Okay.
Good sweep by the guys just to bring that top 4.
Yeah, it was probably a foot light, if anything, and the boys had to sweep it, which meant it probably overcurled a bit more at the end. He's half a stone to the right more the curl than he wanted.
Did you see this corner coming up again? Seen this a few times now.
Yeah, well that's right, and Torger actually favouring the outturn draw on every occasion, just over the top of LeGroyer sign there, so I'd say that's pretty much as close to perfect as you're going to get. Ewan going centre guard with this one, so this is interesting that the last time he was going for the top 12 stone. This one he's called it a little bit longer.
This one line weight's nice. Tight.
Yeah. Better.
Ewan Byers calling a different game. He's coming right up to it.
Dave Edwards just pleading with a stone there. And it's just snuck in.
That's unbelievable. That's ends 2 and 4. Exactly the same things happened. He's just come an inch in and left it exactly the same place. We've got an identical setup. Ends 2 and 4.
Okay. Vanlig. Vi ruller ikke inn.
Vi får legesvar. vi har hatt fridragninger og alt mulig.
Yeah, so it's clear what the strategy is again. Here we saw Havel Pettersson play the perfect hit and roll on the outturn here at ends 2. So looks a bigger weight this time.
Does.
Oh, he's played the intern.
Yeah. Going for the two of them.
Got the double this time. Blimey.
Okay, dunk.
I wondered whether plan A there might have been to get the hit and check across, but plan B still 100% if that's what he was going for. High caliber stuff here at Perth. Quarterfinals of the 2017 Mercure Perth Masters. It's high quality curling in a world class field. Duncan Fernie playing the outturn round a short guard.
Go!
Sweepers like the weight.
Hard, guys!
Unlucky dunk.
Just a wee take off the guard there. First draw round. That side.
Yeah, Ewan being kind to sweepers there. I think they miscalled it to him. They said the weight's fine, and Ewan MacDonald just saying to sweepers the weight came off it. I think that really means you miscalled that, guys, because that was light the weight and it over curled.
Solid!
Control weight, check and roll here. Again, that's pulling too. Got away with it. Oh, big break, getting the yellow in behind the corner guard too.
They really did get quite lucky with that clinging on there.
Yeah, just Ewan St. Torger, good shot, my friend, through gritted teeth. Yeah, I mean a fat rub there. He could have popped that one right out of play and left a red sit in, but instead he's taken the centre guard off and popped one in behind the corner. Trying to hit and check into the centre, and looks like gone a bit straight on him. So yeah, it wasn't far away. You're only talking about half an inch to get the roll, and it stayed straight. So Duncan's in turn there. That's a couple that have just stayed straight on him. It's maybe just a different way these guys are throwing it, and with them not playing so often, we just remind each other's throws and giving Norway the chance to come round the free draw around the corner guard.
Saw a few slide behind the tee the last time we were coming up this way, so it's like a better.
Yeah,
Still quite.
it's quite deep.
But in the guard.
It's right round it. It's on the tee line. Relatively happy. It's forced Ewan into following it. He doesn't like following it. The minute you start chasing the game round a corner guard, the advantage is all with the team in the last stone. So I don't see he's got a choice. The run back's a long way out. Get the run back wrong, you could jam it on your own one and leave two yellows lying, and you're looking down the barrel of a three. So
Yeah. I've seen the Norwegians throw this line a few times now, so they should be pretty comfortable with the ice and the weight.
need that to curl. It's coming now though, the weight's coming off it.
Yep. Hard. Yeah.
Lovely shot.
Yeah, I mean it's turned, that shot's turned a potential 2 into maybe a force now, so great attempt. They'll keep chasing it. Probably still advantage to Norway. Plenty of cover around the corner guard. They'll like the way this is set up, but good defence from Team MacDonald. Like you say, Rachel, the guys know the ice now. They're willing to take shots on halfway through the game. They don't want to come off the ice thinking they've never had a go. So
That's right.
Yeah, switch the sweep in there. It needs more curl, he's shouting, and the weight's pretty good. Shows how much it curls at the end. Yeah, stayed a bit straight, didn't it? Really started it too long on the other side of the centre line. It had a long way to go at the hog line.
Nose isn't bad.
He's just got the opportunity to try and catch the inside of this and tuck in front of that red behind the guard there.
Yeah, nose is a great shot. If this stays slightly high, it might just rub the red on the way past, and you might see both yellows springing. But I think he quite likes the way the red's sitting there. He doesn't want to move that too much, so nose hit, and even just like you said, a half check inside. Doesn't want to lose the red. He wants to stay in play. Yeah, that's a great shot. Two great shots from David Edwards there. Yeah, a couple of beauties, you and Sane. He's absolutely right.
Yeah, it's just changed this game a bit now. Up till now, we've had half shots at this point in the end, and that's what's allowed the Norwegians to kind of just clean up and play for the blank. But right now, they're going to be looking at trying to create a 2 so they don't not forced to their 1.
Yeah, great camera angle from the production team here. They're right on the game, and they can see how important this end is, and that gives you a great idea of what Torgeir Nergaard's going to have to look down at. Great seeing the team dynamics. Christopher Sva coming down there, and even though he's not at the strategy end of the team, he's at the front end, the grunt end. He wasn't scared to come down and share his views with Thomas Ulsrud and say, how about the check off that one? Just clarifying what weight he's throwing. Torgeir's throwing his number 1 strike, which I think means he's not going to be short of weight this time. He's just going for a quarter or an eighth of a stone to double that one off. Big weight, they like it.
Yeah.
Great shot. Kept the yellow in play.
Nice stone.
Although the red's still hanging on, it's probably not going to come into play. It's 4 stone at the back of the house.
You'd obviously seen how much Duncan Fernie's stone held up there because they took pretty tight ice for that.
Yeah, they learned a lot on Duncan's throw. So just on that, the wider you are, and that outside 2 feet, it does seem to run straighter than when you're down the centre of the sheet. So yeah, lovely throw.
I think so.
So there's a bit more pressure on now because Norway are lying 2 and 3.
Just giving him something when he's not got it in the moment.
Yeah.
I think he's got to hit the open one.
Like, that's not bad, even if you nut it and sit
Yeah.
here. Because worst case scenario can come round at my next.
Aye.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, exactly. Then you've got a bit of cover from the last if need be. No.
Okay. Control. Just.
I think a firm barrier.
So we're going here. Nose.
Yeah, just interesting listening to the boys, the way they're sizing up the options. The initial call was to follow the
Pretty nice, isn't it?
follow the shot round the corner guard and defend it a bit more, but actually you're exposing yourself if they could come round on that straighter out turn and remove the red, and suddenly you're lying 3 again. So it's a good defensive call, I think.
Yeah, this is probably pretty sensible. That red's not easy to move at the moment. So.
No. Just playing a down weight, barrier weight, out turn. Does curl here. He doesn't want to really be on the inside of nose because it might jam on the back red. Like that.
Just got it out the
Just
back there.
enough, yeah. That's good because it's kept the red in play and it's actually rolled into a more powerful position. So even if somehow they are able to finesse that shot red out, he can always come round this red if on the centre line and put it in a pretty attacking position for a steal. So those 2 shots from David Edwards has really set up Team MacDonald here. We've been looking at the setup for the 2 for Team Ulsrud, but now the force is definitely on and they could get themselves in a position for a steal here as well, Team MacDonald. Yeah, they've just totally turned the strategy now, and they're going for the draw around the centre one.
Yeah, looks like it.
Med ris, eller? Jo, men hvis du drar så drar han freebie, og gjør vi en perfekt, så gjør han.
Oh, it'll draw. Yeah.
Det er jevnt å dra. Jeg håper han ikke nøtter den. Men jeg må innrømme at jeg har jo ikke dratt hittil i kampen, men det er nice.
Just a bit of a case of getting there first.
Yeah, whoever chased the button now, it's chase the button, and actually, if even if he nails this perfectly,
Urørt, altså.
you fancy that run back from the top of the 12 foot. It's essentially a nose hit to lie two. So Norway are taking. They have to go for this. They have to go for it now.
Running there.
Gives Ulsrud a chance at the draw as well.
Running there.
Yeah.
This path.
Running there.
Plass!
He might be deep here, but I don't think he'll mind if he's back four.
Yeah, like you say, it just puts a bit of space between that red.
Yeah.
Må hjemme nå!
As long as they're far enough back.
That's a really good attempt, but I think see a piece. Given the opportunity for the dead freeze. Yeah, you don't get too many steals against these guys, and from position with no centre guards, the steal would be unlikely. So the best you can do is try and freeze this one perfectly and get the force end and set yourself up for the two. Still ask the question, if you can come right on top of that, there's not much of the button showing. Excellent end of curling.
Yes.
Just discussing with the guys, what's the speed down here? It's a quicker track, I think. So they've just got to watch. It'll be around about 3:15, I would have thought, and these lads can sweep it a long way. Just checking the time. Duncan Fernie keeping an eye on it.
Where is it? It needs to come down a lot. It needs to come down a lot.
Centre looks like it's a little on the
Yeah,
heavy
just
side,
the
a little
heavy
on the high
side, and that's
side.
why it's not swinging. Yeah, just too heavy.
You'll not be disappointed with that. That was a great opportunity to force the one there.
Yeah. Out of playing probably their best end of the game, they've probably given away a soft two. It's unfortunate, but the last stone's the best one, and that's the one that you see. So he's probably 10 feet long there, because the boys could have swept at the first six.
Jeg prøver kopi, ja. Nå var det nesten urørt.
Yeah, and we talk about that very often, about just playing a weight that you can give to your sweepers. There's nothing they could do with that there. They just had to stand and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, we said it's a quicker track, and it's easy from behind the glass because you're watching it from a more strategic point of view, and the boys gave him a split time, so they were happy in their minds what the split should have been. So an 8-foot draw for Thomas Ulsrud to inflict the first damage to the scoreboard.
Har ingen backing.
It needs backing, they're saying, and I think freezing the back red would probably be enough anyway. So he's hit that higher line too, but similar kind of weight, but good enough to hang on for two.
It's an interesting end of curling, like you said. It was a good quality end of curling. We didn't have so many misses apart from that final one.
Yeah, really good shots played, and
Ja, den var jeg ikke snill med.
the emphasis swung like a pendulum and ended up in the favour of Team Ulsrud, only because of one bad shot, really. Normally a game it wouldn't have been disastrous, but it turned out to be a soft two in the end. It's not disaster, but it's certainly a soft two that the Team MacDonald worked really hard in that end, and they'll feel hard done to give away two, and Norway will know they've got out of one there.
Put themselves in a good position to force that there, so be disappointed, but they'll turn themselves round, ready to build this too.
Yeah, so we're going to see the strategy completely turn around the other way again. We're going to see probably Norway go top four, and Team MacDonald will go corner guard to start with, and then we'll see how the end develops. But they're going to have to create a chance now. Rather than defending, they're going to have to really create some chances. So Dave Edwards played two crackers there and got nothing from it. So they'll need to keep that intensity up.
Yeah, Ulsrud won't take any risks here. If they need to bail out, they'll do it early.
Yeah. They'll be looking for a force end at 5 to score 6 and 8 hammers.
Jeg tror den er der, så hold den i gang. Ja, hold den i gang.
Yeah, all the Norwegian boys, they've got very simple set up in their slides. Very simple release, nothing too fancy, easy to repeat, very hard to get wrong, and that consistency is shown with the results. They're very technically simple, and I think that's been the basis, not just in their consistency of throws, but keeps them relatively injury-free. Meant that they've longer careers because of it. Ewan Barr's going for the corner guard on the outturn side again. I think the team's favouring that side because it seems to be just curling more from centre going around the outturn, and most teams probably favour the outturn handle rather than inturn, so if you're going to try and get a 2, you want to do it on your favoured side.
Yeah. I know it's dangerous lefties on this sheet today.
Keep them behind the glass.
Best place for them, I'd say.
So good corner guard. That's pretty much where Ewan MacDonald wanted it. Torgeir Nergard wanting his team to keep the emphasis down the centre and calling the 2 yellows right on top of the 4-foot. Okay, classic stuff. Both in the centre line. Good setup. Ewan's probably going to have to pop one of these. He's going right round the corner guard, ignoring the 2.
Yeah, just trying to get his second shot sitting in there before he makes a play in the middle here.
Yeah, I think the other strategy might have been to pop the front yellow back and try and get a roll off it, but he's absolutely sure he needs this red to be counting in play, so he can attempt a lift on the doubles after that. I think he knows that Norway are going to just remove that yellow corner guard next stone, so he's trying to put this in a place where he knows it's going to be safe, because he's going to chase that double.
Still got enough of that they're happy just to go for the stone in the house.
Yeah,
here.
he is, because he can see a piece and he can come round it. Good attacking play from Norway. A lot of teams would automatically just go corner guard, so we're going to see some stones in play here.
Yeah, I like this. If they just ripped the corner, Ewan had a fairly easy double, and his stones would have been quite far.
I thought that was a
so
soft release from Christopher Sva. The boys are having to hold it because it just fell out of his hand. Yeah, just a soft throw there. No disaster for Team Norway. He's done the plan B, which was taking the corner guard off, and he's played that hack weight, so he's rolled in the house. So
yeah, it just shows just with that nice weight, the result you can get. You're just bringing another stone into the house, whereas if it was heavier, it would have been.
Yeah, you actually wonder. He called the come around, but I'm sure somewhere in his mind he was quite happy with that as a plan B. It was probably a plan A and a half.
Yes.
Duncan got a lift 2. Important to keep the shooter in play here. He doesn't want to just lift 2 and roll, because suddenly they'll have an open hit on the back one. So try and stay in play, even if he only lifts 1 and jams the one in the centre. Yeah, great shot.
Good stone, well held by the sweeper.
Yeah, good to stay counting 2 rocks. So takes the emphasis away from the back one, forces them to go for a difficult double. Lifts the double here. Probably holds it on the other yellow, which would leave them close together, which is important. Big weight from Chris Sva. He's jammed it. Yeah, the checker was always going to be held. Yeah, the checker was always going to be held on that side one. So bonus for Ewan MacDonald. He's created an outside chance for 2 here. He's just going to try and keep the 2 reds apart now, because we're still only halfway through the end, and it's going to give Team Ulsrud 4 shots of a double. So it's going to be hard to get the 2. They've got to finesse this stone, so they always keep them apart. So looks like a big swing. He might have to change his plan and try and hit it over the top and hold it on the high side.
Yeah, this is coming right across the.
Yeah, he got away with it big style
did
there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
A bit of a laugh about it.
Yeah. I think Ewan enjoyed that more than Thomas. I think he's saying he judged the sweeping well.
Does it always take credit for it? It's what you meant.
Yeah. Outside chance to double. They're as far apart as they could be, which is good for Team MacDonald, but it's essentially just a nose hit for them, just high of nose. It's pretty close.
Yeah, he doesn't miss many of those, does he,
really
Torger?
doesn't, does he? Again, simple setup, very consistent release, and only one stone in play. They defended this well, actually, Team Norway. Been in this situation before, and hard for the chasing team to get back when you're against a team as good as this. Nothing too much to worry about, and nothing too much to chase either for Ewan MacDonald, because we're at end 5. You'll be thinking 2 down in a 3-end game's okay when you've got 2 hammers. So that one curled a lot again, though, didn't he? He only just got a piece. As soon as you cut the weight, they really move. Yeah, he's just saying that. So Norway just keep putting them in the house here. They'll size up different tracks again. They're just educating themselves on different pieces. Is the different lines speed changing? Is the curl coming more? So they know that Ewan's probably just going to hit everything they put down now and then re-rack them so that he can catch the hammer on the 6th. So
yeah, well, like you say, just taking every opportunity to figure out the ice and the bits that they've maybe not played on yet.
Another consideration is that it's a pretty dead end from the last 4 stones now because of what's happened, but the teams will run the rocks out and try and buy themselves some time, some clock time. There's no timeouts this weekend on the time clock, so no coach interaction like they would get in the Worlds or Europeans. So they're going to want to just maybe buy themselves some thinking time. If there's a one shot in it going down the last, they're going to have to talk through the strategy. So they'll try and buy themselves, make sure they've got 4.5 minutes in the clock playing the last end. Yeah, you see that Thomas Ulsrud's halfway through his slide and Ewan MacDonald's already in the hack ready for his next stone, so they're not going to lose any thinking time. So the other games on the sheet at the moment, sheet F, we're seeing all very tight between Brewster and Team China. Rui of China currently 4-3 up without hammer. Team Wallstad, Stefan Wallstad 5-3 up on Morozumi. Morozumi with hammer. And on the outside sheet, Grant Hardy has just picked up a 2 against Alexander Baumann to go 6-2 down. So Grant needing to do a bit of catch up there. Plenty of rocks in play, so he's really going for it. Lots to play for with 3 ends to play. There's none of these teams home and hosed yet. Yeah, Thomas will be pretty keen just to get the nose hit and make sure that Ewan's got to play the hit and roll. They'll not want to give him an easy blank.
Happy enough.
Ewan just urging the roll nearer the wing to give him an easier chance at the blank. So even though you think these are fairly routine shots, the intensity of the play is still there. The guys really have to be on it because a half stone at this stage, if you take your eye off the ball, it can a force here would be a disaster for Ewan, really. So
yeah, really keen to make sure they blank here.
Yeah, get on that. Yeah, he's happy enough.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. So they didn't want that at all. Disappointed for Team MacDonald. They played a good end there getting out of it, and once they realised the 2 wasn't there, they did a good job of playing blank. So that's okay. There's only one shot in the game. They're not totally despondent, but there's certainly a heap of regret there in their team meeting just now. So they're going to have to steal, switch the strategy completely around. We're going to see some more centre guards up rather than that classic corner guard game. So
see where he goes. Like if he's
it's another dynamic that we haven't had. So Team Ulsrud will not take too many chances. I think they've now got 2 hammers out of the last 3 ends. They'll try and keep scoring, or certainly protect the hammer to make sure that they get the hammer on the 8th.
Yeah, Ewan's going to have to work hard here just to try and get the steal out of this.
Hi guys.
Hi, Ewan. Yeah, that was a half stone there. Though you're unfortunate, you played a really good end to defend the blank, and then just with the last stone there, it curled on you. So.
Yeah, it moved. I was a wee hair in actually, but it is curling on that hand for sure. So.
Yeah, we've seen that. In turns seem to be staying a little bit straighter. The out turns are certainly curling. So it's tricky for you guys out there, but it's a really high caliber game we're watching.
Good. Yeah, no, it's there's a few stones about and stuff as well. So we just got to try and create something here, so we can get some stones in play. We can get a steal here, try and force one in the next.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the corner guard strategy in the first 5-6 ends. So now we're going to see it totally different. A great long guard there. You're going to come round again. So we'll see a double guard in play, and be interesting to see how Norway defend this.
Yeah, no, we'll go. Yeah, exactly, Rob. We'll go round there again with the next. Try and get the double centre on and see if we can create a wee opportunity. Key is to have some cover up when I come to throw my last couple and see if we can get a wee miss out of the guys.
Yeah, they've played pretty well up to now. They've missed nothing, and really the only chances you've had is when they've come deep on the on that quicker track on the out turn there. It's definitely quicker.
Yeah, that out turn, we just got caught out in the 4th end there. Actually, we thought we threw the right speed that we needed, but that out turn down here is really glassy still. It's really quick.
Yeah.
And it's very much about when it starts to take the curl and take the weight out of it.
Yeah, it goes big from the hog, but you've got to be dead weight. So yeah, we're seeing lots of opportunities as soon as there's a guard up there. Oh, sorry, I'll stop talking.
Dig a wee bit. Got room, guys. Needs to dig a wee bit. Donkeys. Yep. Hard. Yep.
2 nice stones from you in there.
Yeah, really good setup now, Ewan. It's great to see you guys are, even though you've not played too much this season, the intensity's back there. You can't hide that competitive spirit.
No, it never loses you, does it? It's we haven't played a lot this year, but you know, you get in the environment and you get the juices flowing a wee bit again, and it all comes back. So we're enjoying it. It's nice to be out playing and got some good ice, and you know, playing against Ulsrud's obviously good for us, you know.
Yeah, both teams are great supporters of the Champions Curling Tour, and especially the Perth Masters. I don't remember too many years where either of you have missed it, so we're proud to have you here and pleased to have you on our show court today.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Well, all the best, and stick in. You've thrown some great curling for us, and we've got a good end setting up, so I'll not distract you any longer.
Thanks, Rob. Cheers.
So great to speak to you in there. You can see how we didn't talk too long because it's a pretty crucial end, this one, and the way the ends are set up here, it's a make or break end, because there's no way this is going to be a blank the way it's set up now. So it's either going to be a force for Ulsrud, which would put him into the lead, or it's a great chance the way that Ewan Byers has set these centre guards up for a steal.
Hard on that for line, but knowing that it was maybe a little deeper than they would have liked.
Well, it is, but it's not bad where it is, because it's come out the other side. It's driving it onto the back catcher. So if they pop it at all, it's always going onto a protecting stone.
Yeah, it's not bad. They'll get another opportunity. The Norwegians are ripping this long guard here, so they'll get another opportunity to come round and sit top. She says watching that stone flying down there.
That's not draw weight.
No. Oh. Wasn't far away from taking those two there.
The shot was almost not in play, and he the high hard one certainly produced the chance. He gets the thumbs up from his skip.
I did pick out that yellow on the top of the house, which was acting as a bit of cover there. As Ewan flies across the rink to catch it.
Yeah, that's the fastest he's moved this weekend. still a good option, still good setup here. It showed the value of the two guards that Ewan Byers threw there was that they were so far apart. It made that double rip from Christopher Sva almost impossible. He showed it, almost turned it into being possible, but Duncan's not had too many draws, and that's down that glassy line that Ewan described. It's just a bit quicker down that track, and he's come right in the top 4. It's a good shot though, it's going to curl at the end.
Yeah, that didn't seem to be gliding on as much as it looked to be. It's
Yeah.
just settling down now. After a couple of ends of being really slick, it's...
I think once it comes onto the curling slide, it slows it down a little bit there. Still no doubt what Christopher Sva is doing. He's taking off that centre one, and that's doing damage again. Yeah, 100% PO, but Ewan's well set up there. He's got one top 4 and one protecting it behind it. So not easy getting these centre guards up, but it's we need 2 good ones from David Edwards if they want to stay in the game here. 2 biting the centre tape. Anywhere in that line will do fine at the moment. They're going to peel it, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be in the ballpark.
Line's good. Keep it out. Okay, whoa.
Needs to concentrate on covering the top one. The back one doesn't matter too much. They'll ignore the back one at the moment because that's not the one that's hurting them. It's that top one that they're worried about. So it needs to touch the centre line.
Yeah, and not come too deep so they're close. Keep a bit of space between them.
That's perfect, isn't it? Maybe a bit long. But they couldn't sweep it because it would have taken it too far off. So
it's just coming across the line.
yeah, it's just long enough that
there.
they can see half. Yeah, they're not going to miss the chance because they peel that one. Edwards will throw a better guard. So they're coming round this at hack weight, he indicated, with the tap of the foot. Torger just asking for a bit more.
Yep.
Doesn't want to be inside here because this down weight, this will curl. Holding it well with the brushes though. Oof. Yeah, great shot, great shot. And it was really just because Team MacDonald didn't get their centre guard deep enough. It was, like you said, Rachel, they were scared of putting it too close when they saw Christopher Sva play those 2 run backs. And that maybe just held David Edwards back a little bit. They couldn't sweep it because of line, so...
Yeah, it was probably a great way if they'd had the line and they could have just pulled it on a couple of feet. But like you say, it just swung too much. They had to let it sit.
Still options for MacDonald. They still line shot, albeit back tee. If they can half check that top one. Certainly out there, but it'll come a lot from the hog line in here. At dead weight, they really go. And that's all. Yeah, it's going to glide on a bit too much for them. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, they're saying they're not too happy with it. I don't mind that. I think you leave it too long, you certainly don't want to give away a 2 here. Give away a 2, it's really hard to come back in 2 ends. A 1 either way will do you and MacDonald fine here. Talking through the options here, they've got potential to take the long guard off, or can they half stone the red and drive the yellow back onto the other red and peel both reds from here? Even if it jams in the back, they don't mind too much. I think they're scared if they... Torger quite likes taking the guard off, but if they take that guard off, they could... Team MacDonald are going to put a better guard on, so... Just not sure you can see enough of the top red to lift both reds that are in the house. He's got to absolutely squeak the guard. Make sure you're on the high side here because it does curl, that's what he's saying. I guess plan B, catching the guard, isn't terrible, but he's got to take the chance of getting this shot when he's got half a chance on. Down weight.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
It's on the high side just now.
Oh, just missing that yellow.
Yeah, they were just a shade on the high side. They knew it from the start. I think they were scared of the curl. Both of them said to each other, I've got to make sure I'm out to it.
Yeah, and Sweeper's on it early.
Yeah.
I was on it early just to try and hold it up.
Yeah, Havard Pettersson just trying to get the directional sweep and to get a little shade at the end. They knew it was close. The other thing is, it's another hanger-on, as they say, for Team Norway's. Ewan's identified it and said, do we really want to leave too many of these? If I don't get this guard right, he's got a nose hit to lie 4 and the game's over.
Yeah, it's a lonely looking red at the moment.
Instead of guard, Dave Edwards saying, why not come right up to it then? Why not just freeze it? You freeze it, it takes those two corner when the 12 foot out of play. Tap freeze, take the angles off, get behind the cover.
I suppose we could do that.
Yep, you could.
Go here.
Yep. I think it's at the stage of the game now that you hit that wide one. Hitting fourth shot's never particularly good when you're one down without. I think he's got to make a play. He's line shot, time to attack.
He's good.
He's got to make sure that the most he loses here is a 1.
Yeah,
so
I like this.
It's a little bit of a gamble. If he gets the angle wrong here, it's not going to be very good, but chance to score, chance to get back to level.
Which is what they'd said at the beginning of the end. That's what they were looking for. So when you've got your chance.
Now's the end to go. The front end set it well up here.
Just sit inside, you won't give him the bump, you know? Aye.
Difficult shot. He's down a tricky bit here. So this is it's running a bit slicker. And actually,
it's almost like just trying to freeze it almost on the centre.
He doesn't want to bounce, so he's got to watch his weights here. So I think the professional side would be light and not long, so it might overcurl because of that. So it's quick and swingy. Nice chunk of ice he's taking though.
Yeah, I need to make sure he's right out here.
It's good in his out turn. He'll be happy with this. Boys were happy with the split. Just making sure they're not bullying that.
Whoa then, whoa!
Whoa then.
Whoa,
Weight looks fine, they just need it to curl.
Whoa.
Yeah, Dave Edwards saying that plan B being a long guard isn't bad. That's better than it being over curling and not doing anything.
The difference
So
between these two.
yeah, just saying a big difference in the two stones.
Jeg tror hvis i det øyeblikket du gjør det, så har du den her I spill da.
Ja, du toucher den da.
Jeg tror nesten må bare spille med den farta der, ja.
I think that's maybe the first time he's had a draw with his first stone, and he's noticed that it's a bit lighter throw than the number 8 stone he's throwing. So it just shows the intensity of the game they've been playing. That actually that's the 6th end, and he's had 5 hits with his first. So in a top international national tournament, you would probably have a 9-minute practice before. They only get a 4-minute practice. It doesn't give them a long time, and as the sheet of ice develops, the speeds change, so you don't often notice the differentials until you're in the heat of battle. Same shot for Thomas Ulsrud here. He's favouring the come around at probably just backline weight, just coming onto it to try and tap it up. Same handle that Torger Nergard threw, so they should have a fair idea what it's doing down here. And when you see how much Ewan MacDonald drew, I think this shot's on. It's a long way out. He can come onto the nose of the yellow.
The swing is definitely there for them coming in here. Got the weight right.
Egentlig litt hardere enn din, da var det omtrent som din da. Så vi sitter, ikke sant?
The risk for Ewan MacDonald at the moment is he's only got 1 shot in there, and although Thomas Ulsrud will only be lying 1 shot at the end of this stone at best, Ewan's pretty exposed. There's a corner in wick off that high one, or the out wick to drive onto the single red, and they could lose a 4 and therefore lose the game. So Ewan's got to try and get another stone somehow in there or protect it better. Oh, he's on the red this time. Great shot. Yeah, I was talking about the tap up, but he favoured just nudging the red back to bring the front yellow into play. in fairness to Ewan MacDonald, it's probably put it more safe.
Donkey finished here, didn't he?
It's not
Yeah,
bad,
he just tucked it in behind there. That's not going anywhere, so it's just going to come in,
Gotta be really
play this
careful
draw
not to
here.
Yeah, he's got to make sure this one in. He's saying he's got to be real careful. He gets a second stone in, not leave a double, because otherwise there's a 5 on. So
More than you gave Dunk.
anywhere around the
come
centre
down
guard's
here
good.
anyway.
And actually, just bite the 4 foot to lie shot, even second shot. Doesn't want to leave an easy draw for 2.
No.
The red guard. Aye. This one here in the centre line. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just got to try and get it around the back of the yellow, eh?
I think it's a straighter hand here than the out turn he was
So you
throwing.
think this one's sliding a bit more, aye?
Yeah. Yeah, he's talking about the stone there. He thinks this stone slides a bit more than his first one. But actually, I think it's a slower hand. I think this side of the sheet's probably just half a tenth slower. So lots going on in the sweeper's minds. A narrower port to come through as well.
Rim.
Line's good.
Okay.
Where are you?
Close, yep. Yeah, from line. Where is
Oh,
he?
that's
Wait,
taken
John
off.
Lee!
That's really curling. They like it. That's good.
Yep.
It's just,
Just where it's gonna
yeah, it's
sit
just
now.
sliding on. He's going to get a rub off it. No more than a rub. Yeah, you see, it was just the weight there, Rachel. It glided
Yeah.
on a lot more. They knew that as well, but it's nudged it out just a hair, and whether he can see that.
Nei. Spiller for 2.
Yeah, I think he's.
Kind of not what they wanted to do,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I think.
Det køler bra her, altså, dere.
I mean, there's a big shot there. Sure, there is. If he can catch inside the nose for a big end, but
Ja, du kan
He'd
kjempe.
be happy with his
oh, of course,
Two,
all
so-
day long a 2 to go 4-1 up in a 2-end game. But
just trying to figure out whether they can just bump
yeah,
that on the red there. If they'll get a second shot.
yeah, I think they're worried if they're on the high side of nose and it jams on the back red. Does it beat the top one? And it certainly does. Ironically, Rachel, we've got a better view than they do. So he's saying that if you really want to be popping it through the hole here, so he's trying to catch it because he can't obviously see the centre of the stone. So he's catching it on the high side of the stone, probably at back 12 weight, popping it down the inside of the red, not the outside.
We know the shots here. We've just, it's not that far away from what Ewan actually just played there unintentionally, but the lines there, the shots definitely off them to get to the nose of it.
Yeah, Ewan's last stone there caught them out again. It just ran on a bit more. He had to be dead weight, and he just took the nudge off it, which has popped it in the open.
Jeg spiller samme fart, men isen er beholderen over. Spiller samme fart.
So we're going to see a similar shot away from Thomas Ulsrud here, and anywhere on the high side, even rolling into the tee line of the 4 foot there, gets him his 2.
Hard.
Wow.
Hard. Rent!
Ja. Wow. Wow.
Wow!
Wow.
Wow!
Yeah, they must like it because Thomas Ulsrud called it hard out of his hand, but he felt he'd thrown a soft handle, but it's certainly not done him any harm. In fact, he's got it on the inside.
Perfect
Look at
stone
that.
there.
Yeah.
Nice 2.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think fair play to Ewan MacDonald's boys. They went for the steel end. They had to go for a steel end because they wanted to get it back to all square. The steel end often brings about a force anyway, which wouldn't have been bad. But the 2-shot swing there for Team Ulsrud makes it a 4-1 call with 2 ends to go. Ewan MacDonald's team's not dead. We've seen on this swingy ice, it's quite easy to create openings for 2s, and I think they'll be looking at doing that here. They'll really go for it at the 7th end, and then they've got a steal. So they're up against it, but by no means out of it. Looking across the sheets, Bowman's beaten Hardy, bounced right back with a 2 after Hardy looked like he had a slight glimmer of hope. Wallstad 5-4 up on Morizumi with the hammer, playing the 6th. Wallstad looking well set here, drawing for a 2, which really makes it 7-4. And Team Brewster almost all square against Rui Lui of China. Going with a hammer at the moment. score 4-3 with Brewster the hammer and Louis in control at the 6th end. So that could go either way still.
That's Wallstad Morizumi. They've just shaken hands there, so that's like a win for Wallstad.
So to the quarterfinals sorted out. We're just waiting to see our show court game here. So Havard Pettersson through the top 4, overcurls slightly, but he'll be happy enough. They're 4-1 up. Anywhere in the 4-foot circle, they'll be happy. And we're now seeing Ewan MacDonald's team just going for the corner guard. Ewan Byers on the out-turn side again, favouring that out-turn again. I always used to like mixing it up a bit. If you've tried the out-turn a couple of times, it's not worked, try the in-turn. We'll possibly see now the score at 4-1. We might see 2 corner guards, so it'll be academic anyway. Torgan Nergard, I'm sure, will come top 4 again. So depends on where the second yellow lies. If there's a wee cluster, maybe come into it, but you know that there's going to be some peeling of guards happening, so Ewan might want to put up a second guard. He's got to try and get a stone around the corner guard. Not necessarily to be too greedy. I mean, a 2's enough. You're never going to catch a 3 without a heap of mistakes. So they haven't thrown a heap of mistakes all weekend. They're not going to go throw a heap now. So you've got to just try and create a 2. And
Yeah, we'll definitely see a second corner coming.
Så vi der foreløpig. Her kommer
So they're
det.
just looking at the other side of the tee line, top of the 4-foot here.
Absolutt så.
yeah, the way that first one's landed, they don't want to be deep or right on top of it and create a nest where Ewan MacDonald's team could freeze right into the nest of it. So
It's overswung a bit.
it has. They've kept them apart, but the corner guard on the intern side now becomes important because they've got a stone to freeze on. So that second stone of Norway's might actually help Ewan MacDonald. Although they're line 2 against, it's there's plenty cover and plenty stones in play. Also makes it hard to rip the corner guards. They can't drive them into the house because of the 2 stones being in there. They've got to catch it and roll away across the centre line this time. So more to think about. They need this to be level, and that's just a little bit high. Not only is it too long, it's also making the double easier.
It's quite high, it's quite far over as well. It's
Yeah,
almost not really usable as a guard at the moment.
Yeah, you can tell that it's so little a threat to Torgan Nergard. He's ignoring it and going for the more dangerous one. Christopher Sfaz, regulation weight here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, soft-handled that intern again, so it just curled a wee bit. So his weight's going to save him though. He doesn't miss many of those.
No. Yeah, they're just going to use this long guard and just put another one behind it just to try and protect it and create something they can use.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I quite like that. It's not going to be a corner guard that protects anything in the house, but it could guard a guard. So every stone's a saviour at the moment for Team MacDonald. Doesn't want to be too long though. They need to work that.
No, they really need to get this past nice and close to the house. Because they'll still have this yellow they can use as an opportunity to tip.
Oh, that's alongside it.
So they really need to freeze that now.
Freeze that perfectly. Well, it's turned out that it's hard to shift them both, but whatever happens, it will still not be a brilliant guard. I don't think this will be draw weight either. I think this is going to be...
I think we might see some weight coming down here, Rob, again.
This will be the number 1 strike. This could be a granite buster.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Doesn't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Even though they were well locked on there, the fact that he caught just a quarter stone meant it didn't have far to travel to hit the barrier. So Ewan's up against it now. There's no guards in play. If he puts it there, perfect freeze. It's going to be hard to miss because it'll probably jam it onto the other one. But problem with coming right in so early in the end is that even removes the fact that that might be a saviour later on. So I think he's right to leave it long, and
Yeah, he's just trying to bring it close enough that it tightens up the space that the Norwegians have to remove it from.
Yeah.
So placement's really important here. Try and make this peel as difficult as possible.
oh yeah, it's a funny thing to say. If he comes too far into the house and leaves them an open hit, the end's almost gone. So if you can keep going with the guards just now, and maybe leave that corner freeze to David Edwards' second shot, or even Ewan's first one. Just got to be patient, just work an opening. They might get a jam onto it at some point that can create the two that way.
Han som plukket den her som var I sted. I hvert fall under steinen nå da.
Half stone for Torger Nørgaard is fairly routine stuff. It's at least it's changed their handle. They can't hit on the easy side, which would be the high side for the roll. They've got to hit down the centre line to avoid the ones in the house. So made them think about that, but they'll not be too worried. It's a low percentage shot for a team as good as Team Norway.
Let's try one more here.
Yeah, I think so, Ewan. I agree with you. I think you've got to go one more.
Yeah, I think I would have liked one more.
95, I think,
Yeah, because if they play the perfect freeze here and manage to get a jam out of it, they've still got to defend 3 more stones without a double. So that's why I like the one more guard.
Line's good.
Yep. Yeah.
They've got to be frozen. If they're going to go freeze, it's got to be a freeze. Yeah, it's curled too much and arguably bounced a wee bit too much too.
Okay.
Pretty good effort. I mean, we're talking about millimetres out here, so yeah, Thomas is quite happy if he can get Torger to catch half stone and even pick the one off the button. Less stones lying around. It's the first time that Havard Pettersson hasn't set them up A1, so
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
yeah, that's just what they called. Nothing's really changed too much, but it has meant that the corner freeze no longer jams. It goes over the top now, so Norway's sitting probably slightly better, even though the shot stone's back 4.
Yeah, that yellow just coming a bit further over might just make it a little bit more difficult for them to pick it out through a gap. But
Yeah.
if they get this lined up right.
Corner freeze is still there if they can get it almost right on the nose now, so that if they drive it, it might just squirt it onto the centre line.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
They want as no separation if they can. Yeah, you see it's a great line that time, but it bounced too much. So a good attempt, 2 great attempts from David Edwards, but it shows how the freeze is such a hard shot. And 4-1 down with 2 ends to play. There's little else left in the strategy once Christopher Svard peeled those guards off.
Ikke kjapp vel fløta?
Jeg tror han kan fryse her, og så det guffent.
Yeah, so not only are Torger's not just worried about taking his red off and peeling, he's now saying, well, you know what, if you get this just high of centre, even if you feather the one on the outside, roll top 4 makes it almost impossible for them to get away with anything other than a force at this end. Yeah, he was right to have swept it.
Yeah. Just a nice big nest there.
Yeah, I think Torger Nørgaard wasn't wanting that. I think he wanted it to nose to go top 4, and maybe Thomas, with him not being on the head as much this game, he didn't realise the implications of that. So there's not much of an opening here for Ewan MacDonald, but there is a position. If he can put it right on top of that ADF sign, a strike hit jams it on the outside yellow, and maybe the 2's still on here.
Yeah, that's what Torger was worried about. He was just trying to take this freeze off, wasn't he?
Yeah, and you can tell with the body language, a little chuckle from David Edwards, and hands on hips by Thomas Ulsrud, so you can see that the dynamics changed slightly there. Just with half a stone, it wasn't even half a stone, it was quarter of a stone wrong. So 4-1 down, they're still worried. They know what this team, MacDonald's capable of. Yeah, no bump at all. You're actually, the pro side would be slightly short. It is a lot of line. I think that's too much line, Rachel, don't you
That
think?
looks like quite a lot of ice, doesn't it?
Trust it. Yeah. Good call from his front end, though. Just be happy with what you've called. Get it out your head.
Yeah.
Throw
With it
the
being
brush.
dead weight as well.
Yeah, it'll definitely curl a
Yeah,
lot,
well.
but he kind of wants to be, if anything, inside it.
Hard. Hard.
Certainly looks like it's coming in to where they want it. If not,
Hard, guys.
Yeah, the line's
not
really
for
good.
line, so
Just got to make sure they freeze it. Don't bounce it. It's going to over curl, in fact.
yeah.
Corner the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's plan B.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I think at mega weight they might be able to rub it right through, but as a plan B, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think maybe Ewan just wasn't convinced with the ice there, and
Yeah,
actually,
it's funny, isn't it?
turns
that
out we were all wrong.
The psychology behind that was fascinating. That we thought and he thought it looked like a huge amount of ice, and perhaps just in his mind there, he just shaded it in because he knew that. His team tried to tell him to trust it, just trust the ice. If it was the right idea when he was on the head, it's the right idea in the hack. So the whole team, we talked about earlier how they bought themselves some time early on. Were plenty of time in the clock for them, so they're making sure. Is it possible to squeeze that red through the gap? I'm not sure it is.
It's tight, yeah. I think that's ended up in a really good position for it being the second option for sure.
I think at peel weight it'll rub through and run through a little bit, but I can't see it coming out the 4 foot. The other way is to catch it fat on the high side and maybe run it over the top.
Yeah.
And it might just catch a spin off the top. Then it might catch the other checker.
Yeah, these yellows being in a line have just got them into a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, it comes back to the lead stones. That second stone by Havard drew too much, and it's still there on the right hand side of the sheet, and it could act as a checker to this. I think this is going to be big weight. Quick heads here. This red might just run if they get a bit of action on a corner. Big weight. Big weight. It's on the high side. Will it spin though? Yeah. Yeah, they got a lot more action than we were anticipating. It looked well jammed, but it just wasn't frozen well enough on. Quick heads and big weight. The freezes have to be perfect. So Ewan's going to have to take a 1 here now. It's not only did he squeeze the red out, but he kept the second stone in play, so the blank's off. I think Ewan would rather have blanked than taken the force, but he'll take the 1. There are only 2 in the game. Playing the draw against the 2. Oh, the shot, of course, was the hit and nose.
Yeah, it's just played the draw. He should be happy enough with the weight.
Yeah. Same track.
Yeah.
Boys are on it.
Come on, every inch.
Probably need to be.
Come on.
I think he's safe.
Come on, Peter, go.
Boys, you got it. You got it.
Come on, go. Go.
Yeah, they can't come off it.
You got it.
Good sweep by the boys there just to bring that into the 4 foot.
Yeah, good sweeping.
Top of the 4.
Sweat, boys.
So.
Yeah, they've worked hard this weekend. I mean, 4 games yesterday spread over 15 hours.
That felt similar-ish.
Be a hard shift for them.
I didn't feel a lot. Aye. Just was thinking that rock was maybe big.
So 4-2. Game's not done, but yeah, big advantage Team Norway. They've got the hammer back going down the 8th. They've played the game just to protect that hammer in the 8th. They blanked the first 3 ends. You can see in the scoreboard there, just controlling the hammer, patiently waiting for their opening, and once they got it, they went for it after that. So good work, and you can see why the strategy all comes together when you can play all the shots. MacDonald's got to go for it now. We'll see the double guards from Ewan Byers again. Down the centre line, they'll be covering that centre. See if they can eke out a mistake. Try and leave themselves line 2 in the house.
Yeah, they're going to need a perfect end here. They're also going to have to hope that Havard doesn't make his usual ticks as well. It's something that he's pretty good at. So, every shot.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're absolutely right, Rachel. Not only does it need the perfect end from MacDonald, it needs the most imperfect end from Ulsrud to create a steal of 2. So, perfect storm required for MacDonald. Other quarter-final, just to keep you up to speed when we get a moment, is 4-all playing 7. Brewster got forced to take his 1 there, so Team China in control. 2 ends to play. Slightly slower game, but there's no surprise in that. Ulsrud plays very quickly, as does Ewan MacDonald. They don't require too much thinking time. So we're seeing the tick here, Rachel, as you described. Havard Pettersson, the master of this game. Playing the outturn. Looks like he's going across the stone. This is just back 4 away.
Solid! Mye fart!
Ja! Ja!
Oh no, he's playing the tick on the high side. I was wrong. He just didn't take a lot of ice. That's what surprised me. Bit heavier than he wanted to be, but it's a perfect shot again, isn't that? A fantastic shot. Touch curling, great teamwork. Getting sweeping right, Torger calling it. It's like rolling into the house too, just as a wee catcher there too.
He really has made an art of that. I can't think of many times I've seen him miss a tick when he's been asked to play one.
Yeah, in world curling, when your lead can do that, you got a lead of 2 shots. It's pretty hard to come back playing the last end when you've got the hammer.
Okay.
Yeah, good guard from Ewan Byers. He's a little bit tight to the house, which probably makes it harder to tick. So,
yeah, just throwing this through.
Yeah, they've recognised the fact that they're 2 up. And that guard being a little bit closer is harder to tick. They were probably only at best going to pop it in the house, so not taking the risk on it. They didn't want to pop it in behind that corner guard, so experienced enough not to panic and just leave the guard up there.
Yeah, long Doug.
Ewan MacDonald has to go long, keep as much separation between these 2 guards as he possibly can. We saw at the last end coming this way at end 6, the power of the peel from Christopher Saar. Doesn't want to be too close here. Down that quicker track. Needs to stop. These 2 guards are a bit too close, I think. It's sitting
Just
down
sitting
now.
down,
Yeah, pretty nice. That sat down a lot. I think they caught the boys out too.
Yeah.
I thought we all thought that was halfway plus, but perfect shot from Duncan Fernie.
Yep.
Big separation. Surely the double's not on here. Yeah, he's cut his weight a wee bit. I think he's happy with the single peel and maybe even ripping the corner guard off as he goes. Yeah, they're going the double on the corner one that time, but just a bit high. Happy to peel the 1. I mean, I guess the key is here is that they keep peeling the single long guard. How's Ewan going to get 2 round that one?
At some point he's going to have to come in, and if there's only the single guard, then...
Yeah. That was the beauty of the first tick from Havard, that it meant that the 2 was almost not on the minute he played that. It's going to take a miss from Ulsrud, and he's probably not made one all season.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not heavy, the boys said, and I actually think down that centre slide it slowed down a wee bit. It would certainly just gone a bit flat down that middle. They've played that out-turn hand a lot, and it would be nice to test your opposition skip down that track if they possibly could, because Team Ulsrud have been playing a lot of hits. It would be nice to leave them a draw to 4 foot down that centre line.
Yeah, it's certainly not got the run in it had earlier in the game.
Yeah, single peel, happy with that again. 100% from Christopher Saar this end. They go around the game in a simple way. They make it look simple and just deliver the perfect shots. So Ewan MacDonald, slight change in strategy here. He's recognised that there's only 4 ends to go. He needs to get one in somehow. I think one more guard.
Come back in.
I think one more guard, because you might jam it in the corner, roll in it anyway, and you've still got another chance.
I don't mind coming round. I don't mind it. I mean, he's going to try.
Yeah, it's just whether if it's this shot or the next one, isn't it? That's the.
I think it's the only way that we're going to make him face 3. Like.
Yeah, you're going to have to.
Yeah.
David Edwards saying there that you need to make him face 3 when you're 2 down. So it'll depend how much Ulsrud wants these guards away. So it's important for Dave Edwards to get right round this corner so that it makes the corner peelable. If this is in the open, Ulsrud will ignore that corner guard and he'll only be facing 2 with his last stone. So good long-term strategy here from Team MacDonald.
Dunkies.
Needs to swing.
Go on, dunk.
Really needs to curl.
Yeah. Just go in.
He should curl again.
Yeah.
Go.
That's a really good shot from Dave Edwards. He's been pretty steady this game. So they're going to peel the centre one, but obviously there's an outside chance of taking the one in the house too. So
Yeah, they'll be looking for the one in the house here at the same time.
it's quite an angle. They really only need a quarter stone, so the risk is you miss it completely if you try and be too clever. So loads of time left. Nice work from production team, just reminding us that they're down to that 4.5 minutes that I thought would be comfortable. I think it is comfortable. They've got plenty talking time. So single stone peel. Bonus if they tick the one in the house. No, he passed. Just, we're talking about this intensity. Every stone, it's a regulation shot for Turg and Nergard, but 100% concentration. They know how important it is to get this right. Even a corner guard here would be a huge bonus for Ewan MacDonald if he hits and checks across. Not the best slide.
Yep.
Got it away okay though.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Yeah, great shot. Yeah, he's jammed it, so half a chance. So what does Ewan do? Does he come round this corner guard again, even though it's maybe risking leaving the two reds pretty close together? That's A1 there, but he doesn't. He has to be totally round it. Can't show him a piece. Another shot was freezing the yellow on the other side. Freeze the shot on the yellow side. They might ignore the corner and hit the open one. So he's got to try and leave Ulsrud facing 3. Same weight for David. Oh, he doesn't like the throw. He feels it funny.
Just watch it. There's something under it.
Mine's good.
Felt it just grabbing a wee bit in his hand. So sometimes you just hit a flat spot and it's okay.
Come on, guys. Gotta go this time. Hard.
You really need to work it. They really need to work that. Yeah, maybe Edwards was right. He felt there was something under it, and maybe just
Picked up in my hand.
a slight hair held it back.
Yeah, and the sweepers were stood off that a bit, thinking it was fine, and just
Yeah.
got caught a
Tror
bit
det.
there.
Det er ikke noe gimme-dobbel det der.
Yeah, difficult. At this stage of the game, you know, there's a 4-minute practice each. Practice. It's almost like the ninth end. It's at 9 ends of curling on it. Any little imperfections start showing up when the pebble comes off the ice. So open hit.
Prøver å rulle innover.
Ja.
Effectively means the most Ewan can get is a 2. So
Ren.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa.
Whoa.
Er det?
Ja.
Yep. Yep.
Whoa. Yeah.
yeah, pretty good shot. You see, it's taken it away from the cover as well. So if they'd hit and gone behind the cover, it gave Ewan MacDonald a chance to come round the cover twice and potentially lie 2.
Well, second shot, just can you?
They've got to lie second shot. They don't need to be first, but they need to be second.
That's what they're just discussing is whether if they go round that corner they can lie second shot.
Yeah, I think they've got to play the freeze. I think
I don't think they can.
totally buried. They're not lying, are they?
No, they've come round there a couple of times and it's been fully in the 12.
Very
So
unlucky to squeeze it 2 and.
As we go here, he draws to lie 2. Go here.
Well,
You've got to move that then, eh?
Yeah.
You'll have to move it.
You move them both, maybe.
Exactly, I think I'll freeze this one, yeah?
Yeah, I think so, Ewan. I think you got to freeze it because
Here, make a play on that.
it's too easy if you go around the guard. No, they're going around it. You're hoping for a half shot anyway, so it's academic which call he goes for. You can see by the amount of time they spent thinking about it that it's academic which way you go. You're expecting them to make the shot, so needs a mistake.
Yeah, it's whether putting a half round the guard, line second shot, whether or not they might just have a go at chasing it or draw and just leave you something.
Yeah.
Or whether, you know, the freeze would have to be perfect. They're just going to throw weight at it if it's not. So this needs to be a good one.
Yeah, it needs to be a good one followed by a half stone to keep the game alive, really. If he doesn't get this perfect, it's game over.
Line's good.
Yep. Will they? Yep.
Weight's good, line's good. They've given themselves every chance here.
Hard. Come on, guys, hard.
Oh, just over curled on them, I think.
Sweat, guys.
Thought it was a good line too.
Yeah.
Line looked good all the way, actually.
I was going to run out of rings, I think.
Just that dead weight curls so much. I think Ewan Stones are curling more than David Edwards too. David Edwards, we saw, he played 2 good draws at 6 and 2 good draws at 8. Coming down that line, didn't draw anything like as much as Ewan's number 8 stone did. So different release, different throw, different stones. So regulation nose hit from Thomas to win the game here.
Yeah.
Just calling the sweeper on it just to make sure there's no debris in front. He knows the line's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, controlled stuff from Team Ulsrud. They were the better side today. Although it was a tight game, Ewan MacDonald's team played a very good game, but ultimately just came down to that match sharpness that hours of curling on the ice show the difference there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the difference there, the Norwegians never really looked under any pressure. They got their twos out of the game, and you know, it was a good game to watch. But yeah, like you say, match sharpness, just a few shots here or there that weren't made and just changed the game. Gave the Norwegians the opportunities they needed.
High caliber stuff. Ewan MacDonald's team will be pretty pleased with their weekend's work. They played the Edinburgh International and didn't qualify, so in a stronger field here this weekend, they've come through, taken some good scalps, and really acquitted themselves well on some of the top teams in the world. Certainly, Team Ulsrud's probably in the top 3 teams in the world at the moment, and to have taken them down the last and gone toe to toe with them is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good showing, especially when we speak about, you know, we spoke earlier about the fact they've not played much competitive curling this season. So to turn up and know you were in a game against a team that is, you know, one of the best in the world, you're not going to walk away unhappy with that, especially given the time of the season when it's just coming up to the Scottish for these boys. Yeah,
they're not going to come off the ice thinking they never went for it either. Although there was 3 blank ends at the start when it was like Stags rutting with the tactics, but they really went for it. There was plenty of stones in play. They left nothing out there. They went for their shots. They created openings, which I think they'll have sat down at the start of the game and talked through. We've got to create some openings. Don't come off the ice wondering, could we have gone for it more? So they've got to be pleased with the strategy. It was just they came up against a better team.
That's right.
You've seen some of the playback of the shots here. You'll see that high caliber stones played and just half stones here and there, and didn't quite work for them. So we look forward to coming back here at midday for our semi-final lineup. We'll wait and see who the lineup's going to be. It'll depend on the outcome of the Brewster China game. It's all tied up. Sorry, it's now 5-4 Brewster. Brewster steals in 7 to go 5-4 up. So Brewster 1 up without the hammer. So Louis got the hammer in the last, and very tight game. So we'll see the semi-finals at midday. We look forward to seeing you then, and it's goodbye from Perth just now.